All right, tools here. We got the first game of the divisional round, which was the Saturday 4:30 Eastern game, Houston and Baltimore. Was really pumped for this game. I took Houston plus 10. Thought they would really stick around. In the end, obviously that didn't happen, but they did for the first half. But I do have some Super Bowl futures on Baltimore, both Baltimore and San Fran, so that would be an ideal Super Bowl matchup for me. Let's go ahead and take a look at the highlights. This game, like I said, the first half was very good. Second half was a complete blowout.
Is the most targeted guy for Baltimore, and it's continued throughout the entire season. Not Mark Andrews, who's not playing, but Zay Flowers. And there he is.
Lamar, through the whole game, made it look pretty easy. Houston did get a little pressure on him, but I mean, Lamar is the clear MVP of this league.
Jackson in the pocket, over the middle, delivers a strike.
Receivers stepped up too. He went around a little bit. Beckham and Flowers and Bateman had a big catch, and of course Likely. There's Bateman there. I think Bateman had a pretty good game. They'll be getting Mark Andrews back next week, which should be huge for them. Although Likely is pretty good. So we end up Tucker with the 53-yarder, and that's easy money for him. But the Texans do hold him after the Ravens looked like they were having a promising drive. Let's see what Stroud can do. Crazy good for a rookie QB. Like all-time rookie QB numbers, basically, for Stroud. Really surprising. Good catch. So, at the beginning of the year, I thought the Texans would be awful. I thought, because they let Stroud get the starting job so late into the preseason, I was like, man, this guy's going to really struggle. Exact opposite. He just came out the gate as a barn burner. Seems like every year, at least one or two of the rookies, what you think is going to happen, they do the exact opposite. Like going back a couple of years ago, Jamar Chase was having a horrible preseason. And I was like, yeah, he's going to be a bad rookie. That's a bad pick. And then he just like came out and lit the league on fire. Seems like every year at least one rookie does that. But Stroud, I'm a fan of him. I mean, I'm a Ohio State fan, so nice to see some of those Ohio State guys doing well in the league. Just really young, promising QB. I definitely want to take him over some of the other guys like Love. Especially the other guys drafted in this class like Bryce Young and all that.
Of this Houston team playing this playoff game on the road. They're down in 13 now.
So he really has a chance to prove himself as a rookie. You knew this was going to be really hard for them coming in. But they got a 50-yard field goal for Fairbairn, who is a pretty good kicker. And he buries it. So if you're a Texans fan, a 3-3 start for a first quarter is pretty good. You're hanging around. That's what they have to do to have a chance. Then Lamar just takes over. He's so hard to defend. I felt like they did a really bad job spying him through this game, as he had just huge holes, and on the read option every time, they didn't have a defender follow him, and he just had open field in front of him. So bad job defensively for Houston. They did well with the blitz, though, because they did get pressure on him. There's my boy from BC Flowers. Ravens win the Super Bowl, I'll get a Flowers or a Kyle Hamilton jersey. I'm a Notre Dame and Boston College fan first for college. Ohio State, Michigan, Washington, secondary type teams. See, he just took over the game with his running. He had a huge fantasy game. He had like 35 fantasy points. Aguilar, always disappointed me to see a former Patriot getting a touchdown and doing well somewhere, especially considering in New England he couldn't catch COVID. He was so bad.
In his 9th year, he's bounced around, has his first career playoff touchdown.
Solid veteran, 4th or 5th guy, though. I mean, Ravens got some weapons. They got a pretty deep roster. Clearly the best team heading into these playoffs, right? Yeah, what really killed Houston in the first half was that they couldn't get any rushing game going. Would have liked to see Dameon Pierce maybe a little more, mix things up, but they couldn't get nothing going on the ground. Just look at Lamar. That's a great tackle. Christian Harris is easily their best defender. That's how you got to stop this team, is you can't let him run. You can let him beat you a little bit in the air, but can't let him run. And this was huge, huge. Stevenson's punt return. Huge for Houston at that point. You felt like the momentum of that game was just changing going into the half. Huge.
Had the best shot at him here. He was the only one. He did the best he could. He's right there in the hole. Middle return.
You're like, oh boy, Texans are sticking around. That's dangerous.
He's the type of athlete, as you mentioned,
I think they get a stop here too. Oh, that probably could have been a pick. But yeah, they get a huge stop after the punt return. They could go down and get a field goal, take a lead into halftime. Then Collins on this drive had 2 or 3 catches, and he was getting going. Big plays. I took Collins in most of my fantasy and got burnt a little bit. He only got 10 points. There he is again, though. This was his drive. This is where he got like all his fantasy points. But yeah, they're in field goal range. Like, you feel really good. Like, holy crap, the Texans are sticking around. I was pretty pumped at this point. He misses it. Tucker, I mean, that's the difference there. Tucker would just bury that. But that gives Baltimore, they actually go into the third quarter. They get the ball first. And that's a little loss of momentum, missing that field goal. Likely's a beast. He would be a #1 anywhere else if they didn't have Andrews. He's an absolute monster. And the Ravens just making it look easy here. You know, at halftime, they're like, yeah, we're done playing. We're done playing. Jackson's like, I'm gonna get this. Yeah, you can't let him do that. At that point, you knew this game was like almost over the way Jackson was running. You're like, yep, all momentum is gone. If you're playing Madden, the full bar would be on Baltimore right now. Like, yeah, it's over. And here I'm getting worried about the spread a little bit because Houston's still covering the 10. But you're like, well, they need a decent drive here. If they give it right back to him, I mean, that 10 ain't gonna hold. Schultz, a really good tight end too. That was a nice pickup for them in the offseason. Nice little security blanket. Yeah, and then Singletary had a really good run. And you're like, okay, they're driving. If they can tie it up, I mean, that'd be great for the spread. It's a nice little play by Stroud under a lot of pressure, just dumping it out. But, I mean, it was a 3rd and long. So they got to punt it back. They had way too many penalties in this game, too. They had, like, by half, they had, like, 7 or 8 false starts or delayed games. And then here's Lamar. They put a nice drive here. They go up 2 scores. This game is 100% over. Yeah. He's just playing with him at this point. So, yeah, huge third quarter by Baltimore. Won them the game. Completely dominated. Justice Hill had a really nice game, too. I thought they'd be using Dalvin Cook maybe a little more, but they did use him a little bit. That is insane. Likely is such a monster. So Jackson's like, okay, I'm going to run, and everyone thinks he's going to run. Now he hits this stance here where it's a passing stance. I think he does a little, no, he doesn't do a pump fake, but at this point, Houston is completely committed to the run. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Eight defenders here, leaving 1-on-1 with everyone else, and he just plays basketball with Likely. Just slam dunk. The defender had no chance, whoever that was. Likely is super underrated, such a monster for backup. He's gonna get a bag in free agency when he becomes a free agent.
Touchdown throw from Lamar Jackson. Ravens up 14.
So yeah, 2 touchdown lead going into the 4th. You're like, yeah, okay, game's done. And then they just come out on defense and just smother them.
Back-to-back touchdown drives put together by this Ravens offense.
I mean, that's what champions do. They win. I would say Baltimore's my clear favorite to win the Super Bowl right now, with San Fran being second. San Fran has the easier road maybe to get there, but I mean, Baltimore should beat KC or Buffalo, especially at home. They're just too good. And speaking of the other game, it should be the best game, I think, of the day. Definitely KC and Buffalo. I think I'm going to end up taking Buffalo to win that one. They need a little redemption. But I could easily see Mahomes just turning it on and winning that game. So on this drive here, they did get Cook a bunch of action. There's my BC boy, Zay Flowers. Really great, awesome receiver. He might end up being the best BC player to ever play in the NFL. Lamar just keeps going right to next week. Heard some, I think that was his second rushing touchdown. Just too good. Like he's clearly the MVP of the league. Best quarterback in the league. He's better than Mahomes. He's better than all of them. What's sad, too, as a Patriots fan, is Bill Belichick 100% wanted to sign him, and Robert Kraft said no. But that could be another title, Super Bowl title for the Patriots there, but nope. So I'm glad he's with a team that I don't hate in the Ravens. I've always kind of liked them. Plus, my fiance is from Maryland. On 4th down and 3, Hill. Yeah, Hill had a really good drive here, kind of getting first down after first down. He's in the Hall of Fame. Dalvin Cook, too. Here's Cook.
And Eric DeCosta's continued to draft great players just like Ozzie Newsome did, and so they really know what they're doing.
Tucker to close it out. So 17-point lead. And they're just, they gave up at this point. They put all the backups in. But good job to the Ravens. I mean, Stroud's got a huge, bright future, especially Collins. Collins is a unreal receiver. Rookie head coach, rookie quarterback. Nothing to be disappointed at all for Houston. Making the playoffs and winning that division was huge for them. And tons of momentum going into next year, even though they lose this one. But big up and good on to the Texans for sure, and to Stroud. And it'll be interesting to see if KC or Buffalo plays Baltimore, but it'll be tough for either one of those to get through. So, I mean, clear Super Bowl right now, you're kind of looking at like San Fran, Baltimore, which is like my ideal outcome for betting purposes. But thank you all for watching these videos. We'll obviously do 2 more games coming up today that we'll take a look at and record tomorrow. And yeah, hopefully this is something that's fun and can look back on, even if I don't get viewers, and talk about sports. So peace out. Thank you all for watching.